President Trump firing the Bureau of Labor Statistics Commissioner Friday. This followed a week's jobs report. The Bureau revised May and June numbers down by a combined 258,000 jobs. That was the biggest two-month downward revision we've seen since April of 2020, obviously the beginning of COVID. President Trump posting on Truth Social this morning that the jobs report was rigged to, quote, make a great Republican success look less stellar. He says he will be picking a replacement in the coming days. Joining us here at Post 9 is Senator Elizabeth Warren, who I am sure has some thoughts about that. What was your reaction when you heard he was firing the BLS commissioner?
Well, look, you get bad data, you kill the messenger, right? And that's Donald Trump, because he thinks he can bend reality. If he can just tell a different story, then everyone will have to believe his story. I think most people have not absorbed just how dangerous it is, both to fire the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and also, then what? To put in some sycophant who's going to give data that makes the president happy? That's certainly the message he's communicating. And when that happens, who believes the data? So he's got some toady suck up in there, and a month from now, let's just say good data come out. How many people have to discount that data and say, not really, even if it's bad data? How many people say, I wonder how much worse it might have been? And that's the thing to remind everyone. The United States data collection in the economic range is the best in the world. We are the gold standard. And the importance of that is that every government official who's making policy choices, and I mean that at the federal level, but also at the state level, at the town level, can look at, here's where we've been, here's the direction it looks like the economy's going. Understand, Bureau of Labor Statistics does not interpret the data. They just report the numbers. You figure out what to do with it. And every business in America that's trying to figure out, where do I want to go next? What do I think the trends look like? This is what businesses do. They're in the prediction business.
Now, there are some who are
numbers.
Yeah, there are some who are frustrated with the data collection methods and feel that they perhaps need to be updated. You're still calling people on the phone. Obviously, many people don't answer their phone any longer for that kind of a survey. And that may be why we get more revisions, because ultimately they do return the calls, but it takes them quite a while.
Takes a while. Improve data collection, but don't call it rigged. Because this is like taking value that the United States has literally spent decades and decades and decades building up, and Donald Trump just strikes a match and sets it on fire. He tells the entire world, don't trust data coming out of the United States. Lord, is that
Do you have
expensive.
any expectation there's something you and the Congress can do about it?
Well, this is our problem.
I mean, obviously, you're in the
along.
minority party, but...
Well, we have Republicans, in theory, they could just stand up to him, but I say in theory. It's the most spineless bunch of people I've ever seen. Even something that so clearly will hurt their home states, will hurt businesses in their home states, and I don't hear a peep from them saying, back off, we need independent data collection. This woman who has served under Democrats and Republicans, shoot, Marco Rubio, J.D. Vance voted for her when she was confirmed. Very apolitical position. Where are those Republicans
What about the business
up?
community? Are you surprised? Now, it's early, but we haven't heard of perhaps resounding concern. Roger Altman, obviously, chairman of Evercore, saying some things just now, but are you surprised there's been perhaps a lack of concern expressed there in the last couple of days?
You know, I'm going to say it slightly differently. I'm worried about what it means. Why would people not respond? Why would business leaders who use those data and know how important those data are, why would they not speak out? How much has much of the business community decided, I'll keep my head down? No matter what, let him fire at somebody else. I mean, he just lopped off the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Who does he want to go after next? He goes after individual businesses. He goes after people in the government. This is, the would-be king who thinks that he can destroy anyone and destroy their businesses. So let somebody else speak out about how bad this is. I think that's very disturbing.
What has that meant for just morale in the Senate right now? There's a piece in the New York Times today about who still has the stomach to be a U.S. senator in this current environment. I mean, what does that mean for being effective as a legislature?
Well, look, I keep looking over at the Republicans. Keep in mind, in the United States Senate, 4 Republicans, that's all it would take. 4 Republicans could say on some of these terrible appointments, on this terrible tax and spend bill that says cut 17 million people off their health care so you can give tax cuts to billionaires. 4 Republicans could have put a stop to that. And instead, I don't think of it so much as who has the stomach. I think who has the spine to get out there and represent the people who voted for you. And it's pretty clear right now, it is not the Republicans in Congress.